In the home computer boom of the late 70s, where the likes of the Apple II, you begin to see the embers of companies placing copy protection, where diskettes could not be easily copied, where publishers would push a steep price for their software, and where distribution will not yet cover many of the far reaches of the world. And this is where hackers saw it as their duty to do something about it. What they would do is they would break or crack this copy protection, so that if anybody wanted, they could just copy diskettes and share them freely. The hackers did not sell these cracked copies, and they demanded no money for their work. That would defeat the point. But in a savvy bit of self-promotion and networking, and also to further the idea of cracking software, hackers would leave their own signatures, their very own digital graffiti in a sense, by opening a software with a crack intro, usually with very cool graphics and music. But the first crack intro, or cracktro as we'll come to know them, might have been documented as far back as 1981 for the epics game Crush, Crumble and Chomp for the Apple II. You lead monsters attacking a city. It was basically Rampage before Rampage. But a notable thing about the game is when you boot it, you'll find the intro screen where it says, broken by the Pirates, September 26, 1981. It's really funny that this person has every legitimate right to call themselves the Pirates, because they were truly the first one. They were really a pioneer. But when it comes to cracktros, I think one of the most iconic and beloved pioneering ones will be made for the Commodore 64. For this, we have to go to the Berlins. I say it in plural because there were two of them. Getting video games in Germany, no matter which side you were on, was the pit. The NES and the IBM both made their way into West Germany, but they were really bloody expensive, and you could basically give up on getting the Apple II since it was basically only sold in America. On the other hand, in West Germany, you could affordably get an Atari 8-bit, or a Commodore 64. This is really the reason why it became the folk champion of this country. But games were another matter, since even in a liberal country as in West Germany, every video game was still subject to a strict review for content, especially those that promoted violence or terrorism. For example, River Raid was famously banned in Germany because you played this plane just like destroying these oil tankers or whatever. Honestly, I get it. Germany was still just a couple of decades fresh from doing unspeakable stuff, that I understand this crucial need to reprogram its own society and regard it as an incredibly important thing. That's where the Berlin cracking service comes in. This is the Berlin Bear, graphics made by Lord Vader. It is a crackter that endows many of the Berlin cracking software games starting from 1984, and it shows quite literally a flag of Berlin, or the Berlin that once was. The Berlin cracking service were a West German group. They weren't the first German cracking group. Jedi and Plutonium crackers would precede them by a couple of months. But the success of the Berlin cracking service informed and inspired other gamers in both East and West Berlin that they could do this too, and crack and spread those games that the state did not want them to have. I'm not going to pretend that the crack groups in Berlin was some sort of clever act of state subversion, or that the BTS managed to break the Berlin Wall or something. But the connection these disparate groups of people had, separated by both political and physical boundaries, were really telling, because there was a really profound love for something. When you love something, anything that has an immense value, you want to show it and share it with other people. That's why copying is an expression of love. Copying doesn't take value away from software, it adds to it. I get the sense that everybody who has ever dabbled in cracking or copying games, or has become a part of the demo scene, carries with them a bit of that spirit that helped Eastern and Western Germans unite, and that made them capable of creating a computer and gaming scene that would outlive even the states that tried to restrict them. All hackers, crackers, and demo sceners, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin, and therefore, as a demo scener, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner! Berlin Cracking Service, Jedi, Plutonium Crackers, Flash Cracking Group, and all other cracking groups of Berlin, we salute you!